Reading the Bible over 100 times. His name is Forrest Pratt. According to the Adventist World magazine, the Adventist mission in Thailand was established in 1919 by missionary families, those of E.L. Longway and Forrest A. Pratt. Elder Forrest was a missionary for 11 years in Siam, the former name of Thailand. After his service there, he was transferred to the Philippines. The Far Eastern Division stated in 1934 that Pastor Pratt was then the director of the Central Luzon Mission. Luzon is the largest and most populous island right here. By 1941, he was the director of the West Visayan Mission based in the city of Iloilo right here. His house was just across the water here on the island of Guimaras, and after working in Iloilo for a few years, the Japanese invaded in World War II, and Pastor Pratt and his wife were arrested and taken to jail and kept as prisoners of war. When the Philippines was finally liberated, it is reported here that his wife weighed only 85 pounds and he weighed 130 pounds.
Dearest Ruth, wonder of wonders, we are free. The condition is so new, we cannot yet realize it is true. We were literally being starved to death. It is almost impossible to believe. Scores and scores died, and only by God's grace were we unworthy creatures kept going. February 6, 1945, Manila, Philippine Islands.
This story is very interesting for me because I also was in Thailand for several years, volunteering on several mission projects. I then went to the Philippines because I was invited to hold a week of prayer and speak at several churches in Iloilo. At one of these churches, I met someone very special, but I wasn't sure if I would see her again. Fortunately, I was invited to speak to a group of young adults on the island of Guimaras, where I saw her again, fell in love, and we were married about a year and a half later. What is even more interesting is that when I went back to the USA to speak at some churches there, I went to visit a member of a local church who had invited me over to eat dinner. During the meal, they mentioned that their grandfather had worked as a missionary in both Thailand and the Philippines. Their grandfather was, guess who? That's right, Forrest Pratt. I was eating dinner with one of his grandchildren. They began telling several missionary stories and showing me some of the pictures. After looking at the pictures, I was handed one of his Bibles, and picking it up, I began to flip through the pages. I was about to set it down when I noticed some handwriting on the inside of the back cover. Today, June 30th, 1955, I finished reading my Bible the 86th time. February 28, 1958, finished reading the Bible the 94th time. And at the bottom, you can see finished reading the Bible 100th time. If you look at the dates, you will notice that he is reading through the entire Bible 3 times a year, which is about 10 chapters a day. If you search his name online at the Adventist Digital Library, you will find many articles. In the 1960 Southern Tidings, you can see him in this picture. Forrest Pratt completes reading through the Bible for the 100th time for youth attending the conference. You will notice the date of the publication is July 1960, which would mean this picture was taken shortly before, and this lines up with his notes, June of 1960. So it's really neat that we have a picture of him reading it through for the 100th time. If you turn over the page, it continues with the last entry being October 1968, which, if you add it up, he had read through the Bible at least 127 times. His obituary says that he passed away in 1978, so it's very likely that he would have read through the entire Bible at least 130 times. Something that I found impressive was how orderly and organized his writing is. The lines are very careful and neat. This was a man who had developed a daily, consistent routine of spending much time reading the Bible. If you look at the dates, you will notice that he is finishing the Bible many times on the same day. October 31, October 31, October 31, February 28, February 28, June 30, June 30. No matter what was happening in the world, no matter what was happening in his life, Forrest Pratt always made time every day to fill up on God's Word. His obituary states that he spoke at least 5 languages, including Chinese, Visayan, which is a regional language of the southern and central Philippines, Tagalog, which is the national language of the Philippines, and Siamese or Thai. At the time of his death, he could still read his Thai Bible, and that's very impressive. I was very motivated by hearing about this story and seeing this record in his Bible, so I took the Forrest Pratt Challenge and I read through the entire Bible in 120 days. It was a huge blessing. I was very blessed. It was a great experience, definitely something that everybody should do. So my friends, I want to encourage you to take the Forrest Pratt Challenge and read through the entire Bible in 4 months. I did it, and I know that you can also do it. If you decide to do so, please come back to this video and share your experience in the comment section down below. Several years after learning about Forrest Pratt's story, I was again back in the USA speaking at several churches, and I went back to visit one of his grandchildren. They were glad to see me again because they were cleaning through their basement and came across a cassette tape which contained an actual audio sermon of Pastor Pratt telling the stories of when he was captured and imprisoned during World War II. The audio quality is not the best, but I was able to transfer it to an audio file and upload it online. So please see the link down below to listen to that message. Definitely a very cool story. I think that you will really enjoy it.